Entire length of the tissue, right? So my calf, the muscular part is here, the tendon part is here, all the way down at the heel. I'm going to start down at the heel. I'm going to work all the way up through the muscular part. The calf actually comes up and crosses the knee. So I want to make sure that I'm hitting that entire length of tissue. I'm going to start with 2 legs because it'll help kind of distribute the force a little bit. It won't be quite as deep. Once I've done several passes on 2 legs, then I'm going to take 1 leg off, and I can either go 1 leg off to the side, or if I want a little added pressure, I can place 1 leg on top, get a little added pressure, and again, I'm going to go through the entire length of the tissue, okay? There are 3 parts to your calf. We have a central part, we have a lateral or outer part, and then we have a medial or middle part. So I'm going to make a few passes down the center, then I'm going to turn my foot out, and I'm going to make sure I hit that lateral part, the outer part of the calf, again going the entire length of the tissue, and then I'm going to roll in and hit that part. On that inner part, right in this part of the calf, that's going to catch a lot of people's attention. You're going to find a lot of hot spots there, okay? So make sure we roll through that. When you find those hot spots, that's not something you want to avoid, that's some place you want to pay some attention to. You're going to hit that, and you can either just kind of roll back and forth, do a little massage there. You can do point and flex the toes. What we're trying to do is pin that tissue and then just get it working back and forth over that foam roller to try to work out any adhesions or scar tissue or anything like that that might be going on there. Okay? And so that's what I'm going to do for my calf. If the hamstrings are a big area of tissue, I don't really get a lot out of it, but I can use this kind of as a little bit of a warm-up. Roll through the hamstrings. Again, I'm going to go all the way down from the knee, all the way up to that bony bump in your butt. That's where your hamstrings originate. So I want to go all the way up to that point. I can also go 1 leg, and I'm going to roll out to the side, and I'm also going to roll, kind of catch that inner part of the hamstrings. Again, not very long there, and then from there I'm just going to continue to roll up, and now I'm going to roll through the glutes. Okay? Here I'm going to go one side to the other. So I'm going to shift my body weight to one side, and again, because I want to cover that entire length of tissue, I want to come all the way up to that upper bony ridge of my pelvis, and all the way down to the bottom part of the butt, right? Cover the whole thing. So we're going to get in here like this. If I want to get a little bit deeper with it and add a little stretch, I can take this leg, cross it over the knee, let that knee fall out, and then just roll back and forth. And now, again, here I'm just kind of hitting the center, so I'm going to roll this way, catch the inside part, roll to the outside, and catch that outer part. Once you start doing that, usually on the outer side is where we're going to hit the more sensitive areas. Okay? Your finger, that's that piece of muscle. It's called the tensor fasciae lata. That's that piece of muscle that controls the tension in your IT band. This muscle gets neglected a lot, especially even in people who have IT band issues. So we're going to work this little range between this bump and this bump, and then we're going to work forward just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to lay directly on my side on the foam roller, and I'm going to go from that bony bump on my femur, and I'm going to roll right up to the ridge on the pelvis, back and forth, and then I'm going to shift my weight forward just a little bit to hit that tensor fasciae lata, that little piece of muscle that controls the tension in the IT band. If I find a hot spot, I can just kind of do this here, roll the leg back and forth as I continue to work that. Okay, so that'll feel good, and then we'll explore that more with the lacrosse ball tennis. The length of the IT band. That IT band crosses the knee, so make sure you come all the way down, across the knee, all the way back up. We want to make sure that we're not just hitting the IT band itself, but I want to hit the little interconnections between the IT band on the front, between the IT band and the quads, and then the IT band and the hamstrings. So I'll get here, roll right down the center, and then I'll just shift a little bit to kind of catch that quad interface. I'll shift back just a little bit to catch the hamstring interface. And again, I'm going to roll down the entire length of the tissue. Okay? So I'm going to start right on the knees, rolling all the way back. Gentlemen, caution. Right? Don't roll back too fast. Take it nice and slow. Again, I'm going to start with 2 legs. Then I'm going to shift one leg off, and then just roll through down the center of the quads. Right? It's quadriceps, so there's 4 muscles. We're going to roll down the center. We're going to shift, roll down the lateral quad, and then shift this way. I'm going to start right here at that little teardrop shaped muscle, the VMO, and I'm going to roll all the way through that inner part of the thigh, going as far up as I can, coming back down and making sure I'm spending some time focused right on that VMO. There will be a lot of funny faces going on as we're rolling through this part of the quadricep. Okay, so go ahead and work on the quadriceps. Overwork. So where I'm going to start is I'm going to put both knees on the roller, and I'm just going to kind of roll through back and forth, a couple of quick passes, and then I'm going to go to one leg and just go back and forth right on that, over that muscle, or group of muscles. Fairly simple, but it's an area that gets neglected quite a bit. I would encourage you to work through that, especially around here. There's lots of hills, so make sure that you're hitting those areas. Okay. Back issues, you'll probably find that you have some tenderness through those spots. So I'm going to start here just by doing a couple quick passes through that lower back, and then I'm going to shift off to the side, coming up to the bottom part of my rib cage, and then just rolling down to the bony ridge of my pelvis. Just kind of spending some time through here. Same thing on the other side. Then I want to make sure that I'm working on some upper back area, some thoracic area. We talked about yesterday, some of us raised our hands as having shoulder pain with running. A lot of that is posture related. We see a lot of people, and we see this more and more and more as we become a society that becomes attached to our computers and such, that our posture is ending up in this position. So what we want to do is open ourselves up, get us into a taller position. So I would encourage our runners even to get up and do some upper thoracic or thoracic region foam rolling. If you know that you have issues here, you can hang out and just do some little oscillations. If you want to get a little bit more aggressive with it, you can get arms overhead, maybe even do the, Kelly Starrett does a little barbell trick where he'll put a barbell here without any bumpers or load on it. Slide your fingers under the bar and it'll hold you in this position, forcing some extension.